Hi there. Hi. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in another live. Today, we speak about actually the ways how to work with our lowered self-worth, self-esteem. And so, welcome. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. And when you are here, say hi to me. I'm going to start actually. Let's see here. Hi. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. How is everyone doing? We are here on the south side of Chicago, but I think the entire Chicago area is uh, rainy. It's not the best weather, but still, it is whatever is in our hearts, right? So, how is everyone? I wanted to go back to our last week's talks about the levels of self-worth and how the levels of self-worth are impacting all aspects of our life. And today, if you are here, say hi to me, send me some hugs. Today, we are going to take the topic a little bit farther, and we are going to focus on the things we can do to start shifting and making changes in our life experiences. So our self worth level is getting higher. And so, because our level of self worth is present in each aspect of our life, it is connected to working on something on many levels. And so, for me, when I am working with all of my clients and when I was working on myself and I keep working on myself, I'm noticing that it's not about becoming somebody different than we are, because we are already who we are, but to finding out who we truly are by releasing and removing all of the different, almost like bookmarks that were giving on us. Like, it's something that was stuck on us, and it could have been words that were projected towards us, so many different things. So the self work would be requiring taking away and lifting up everything that is not us. Hi, Yoasha. So by releasing and removing that's what is not connected to us truly, we can rediscover our true essence. And our true essence is divine, is connected to this purity, to God-given energy. So the level of self-worth at our birth, and I would even say at the conception of a baby, it's God-given gift. And so by us in adult life very often going back actually and rediscovering who we truly are in our essence, I'm sorry for my dogs, then we'll start seeing how our self-worth goes higher and higher, because we are no longer binded by anything that is not connected to us. All right, so what happens to a person that is start working on self and start recognizing that for so many years was living not own life but the life of other people projecting on this person starts by lifting and rising self-worth, will be noticing how self-judgment actually lowers and how the person can open up. You will be able to open up more for life experiences. Also, I'm noticing that self confidence is rising, because you're no longer caring about what other people think, what other people believe about you. So it's extremely empowering to start working on yourself, because you're giving yourself permission to be who you are in this life. All right, so let's go to and talk a little bit what can be done. We are talking about lowered self-worth and steps that we can take actually to work on this issue. So first, I have 6 points today. So today is not going to be a very long talk, but number one, what we have to focus on, because we were born in our family, then the rules, norms, and all of the traditions and all of the belief system that we carry along with us up to today was given to us by our parents, by our family unit. And so we have to go into that space and release any traumas, any events that were lowering self-esteem, any emotional states that maybe are still stuck, and the emotions like maybe shame, maybe guilt, all of the different ones. Hi, thank you for hearts. Thank you. So by checking, by observation of our home, and not only I would not only look actually at our family, but I would take into consideration a little bit bigger aspect of us being part of the system. So the part of the family system is not only mom and dad and siblings, but also all of the generations. So like who and what was the life of our ancestors. So this I would take into consideration. And so number two would be working on your own self-validation. So instead of paying attention to what other people think of us, we should develop inside of us this big, powerful voice that is carrying us, almost embracing us within our own power, seeing our uniqueness, focusing on our uniqueness. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Hi there. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because there's no one just like you. You may have similarities to other people, you may feel attraction to other people, but use it for your own inspiration and be yourself. You can't copy somebody else believing that you're going to have their life. You can feel inspired by this person, but you still have to take full responsibility for the life that you live. From the moment of your first breath to the last beat of your heart, you are on your own private journey. And so you take responsibility for how your life is unfolding. And so I think this validation often comes from. I've written about the self validation in my book, and I'll talk about it a little bit more. But this is the book that I am speaking about. The self validation starts actually with our parents, because every time we do something correct, they are acknowledging us. And then when we don't do something that is when we don't do something that they expected, then they give us negative feedback. And so we learn how to actually navigate our life by comparing ourselves to others. That's number one. And number two, how to avoid mistakes and judgments of other people. But when we take it away, and that's the self-work that I speak about, when we take away opinion of others and just focus on our own hearts, on our own inner voice, then actually we become empowered and be truthful and authentic in our core. All right, so cultivation of the inner validation. Number three is, let me see here, I have here notes, is work on the self-identity. How important is how we identify ourselves. You see, we can identify ourselves as victims, that something happened to us. And because this occurrence happened in a past, that made me who I am today. And it is a valid statement. but do I want to live my life based on that old story? Or can I take, hi Isa, can I take the next step, which is taking responsibility for how my life is going to unfold from this moment on forward? So the past is there for us to build, to understand, to reflect, to learn from. So our present moment and our future is going to, cześć kochana, is going to be aligned with what we want to have more in our life. And so sometimes I see this with my clients, how hard it is to let go of the self identity, because the question arises, who would I be without it? Who would I be without this old story that keeps me constantly going through the same over and over and over again? Who would I be? And then if you are ready for this transformation, you also will have to face the fact that I have to rebuild this identity of truly from my essence of who I truly am. And so, hi, Chris. Hi, guys. And so, this is very, very important. Self identity is almost number one to all of our, like the most transformational part in all of the changes that we are doing. Just imagine, let's say, if you think, I want to go on a diet, I want to go on a diet, and you have this motivation, I want to look beautiful, I want to be awesome, I want to look great. And then you start your first day and you're like so pumped. Yeah, I'm going to look great and all of the things are going to be so cool. Number two is still like it goes because you still have this energy. Number three, four, five, oh, you start seeing a little bit slighting, disappointments, or you missed your workout. Like what happened, you never had a chance to actually change your identity. So let's say if you go on a diet, but you identify yourself with the ugly, not beautiful, with like fat or whatever bad and negative self-talk you would give to yourself, if you identify with that and then you want something to bring positive in your life, this does not align. Those two things, they don't align. If you want any change actually in your life, your self identity needs to be fully aligned with your purpose, with your goal. If it's not there, you will not get motivation. You will not carry this forward because you keep negative and nagging, and this internal critic constantly tells you otherwise. And so instead, for example, if you want to go on a diet, when you start seeing yourself, yes, I am a healthy person, yes, I like healthy choices, yes, I don't need to force myself to go and work out daily, but I can go and go for a walk, I can call my friend to support me and we can go daily on the walks. I always believe that every change that there is that we want to bring in our life, if we want this change to last, we have to take small steps and work number one on a belief system. If I am going to not believe that I am beautiful inside of myself, but I'm going to place on myself beautiful clothes and go to the public, and my body is going to show, my energy field is going to show my actually lower self-esteem. And so when you own it, when you own what you want, that's the most powerful, that's truly transformational. So when you are working on self-identity, you also can rise your actually the level of self-worth, because when you start noticing, I am the same as everyone else. I have the same right. It's a birthright to actually be like everyone else, be happy, be beautiful, be fit, whatever you dream of. It's your life. It's your life to live in. And so whatever you feel inside of yourself, whatever it feels unique, you have a right to do so, to be that, to feel that. And so, just because you have this right given to you, because you are born as a human, you have this choice. Allow yourself to go with that choice. And so, self identity. All right, the next step or the next point, because so it's not like one thing we are going to work on and that's great. I think we have to look at this situation of self-esteem, self-worth from many different directions. And the more actually we are working from many directions, the more results we are going to see. So the next thing, number 4 here I have. So this inner critic. Hi, Chris. Thank you so much. So the inner critic, we all have this nagging voice, right? So, like it makes you feel little. It makes you feel like you're not worthy or you don't deserve or, whatever it does for you. Uh, we all have that critic. And so this critic, I always think it's a smaller part within us that showed up in a certain moment in our life to protect us. And so, like, instead of like, we always say, shovel down and throw it out, throw out this inner critic. And I will tell you, I'm not really a fan of that belief, because I think inner critic, it would be like 5-year old, like 5-year old child that is inside of us and wants to help us, and so usually it wants to help us by protecting us. And so when you would sit for a little bit with your own inner critic and give it a voice and start asking questions, very often this inner critic would like to protect you from being ashamed, from being judged. So it has this nasty kind of way to get to you. But the question is, what are you doing when this voice is nasty with you? Are you listening to it and pull yourself back from your goals, from who you are? Or are you believing in that and you give it more power? So, this is the question here that I want you to answer to yourself. So, since we all have this inner critic, instead of putting it away, I would develop connection with that and ask as many questions as possible to become friends with that, because at the very end we are made of different parts, and if this inner critic is a part of us that is unheard, then it's almost like resisting us. It's resisting us because, hey, thanks so much for likes. It's resisting us because we don't give it voice. So then why don't we give it a voice and find out, what do you do for me? When did you show up first time? And maybe, like, there was a situation at home. Maybe mom or dad was screaming to us and we created conclusion for ourselves. And the conclusion was, I'm not smart enough. And so the conclusion, I'm not smart enough, becomes the echo later on in life, and it is the inner critic. So the inner critic is going to repeat to us something that maybe we heard when we were little kids. And so the question is like, what are you going to do with that? Because me as an adult person, I'll take this inner critic, I'll hug it, and I'll embrace it to say, you know what, thank you so much for working so hard to be, like trying to help me out and protect me. But you know what? At this moment, I'm an adult woman and I don't need this voice anymore. I can handle my life. I believe that I'm smart enough. And so I have a proof for that. I have a proof because I went to school, because I can read books. And when you start working, hi guys, thank you for watching me. When you start working and building evidence that shows that this inner critic is not telling you the truth, then the inner critic is like finally giving up. Okay, so she no longer needs me, but I can be her friend. And so replace then the inner critic by liking it, to build, to make the inner critic grow to be your biggest actually supporter. So the inner critic that was telling you, for example, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, by building evidence and showing to the critic, look, that I have evidence that says otherwise. But you know what? I like when you're telling me different things. Can you give me uh, good things about me? Can you guide me with the good things? Can you see the beauty inside of me? And then start actually very slowly replacing this inner critic with this inner strength, with this voice that is strong inside of you, that is going to build you up, that is going to tell you, go for it, you can do this, you've got this, I believe in you. This voice is also present in us at all times. But you know what? We very often, when we have, like on two shoulders, like two voices, instead of choosing the most powerful voice, we are going to choose the voice that is like pulling us down, and that's the question, why do we do that? Again, here is a choice. You have a choice to choose which voice are you going to listen, and which voice are you going to grow within yourself, right? We are not just, one part. We are the whole, made out of many different parts. And all of those parts, they want to be heard, they want to be recognized, they want to be acknowledged. So self-work, right? All right, so what is another way of looking at our self level of self-worth? Our building our boundaries. Building boundaries is not really a very easy topic, because by building boundaries, we are going to learn who doesn't like those boundaries. People have easy with us sometimes, like especially when we are like have no boundaries, and it's like open field that everyone can just like smash and do whatever they want, and you're like, ah, you know when you're allowing for all of those things to happen on your field, and then out of the blue you're like, whoosh, here, this is how much you can. Before you had all of those things, and now it's like so little. I'll tell you, people will not like it, especially people that had advantage by you not having boundary. And when you start setting up those boundaries, they will be projecting, they will dislike you, they will be telling you, oh, you've changed, oh, you used to be a nice girl, you used to be a nice person, what happened to you? And you know what? When you start hearing this, it means you're doing your job. It means that you are doing your job, because you should trigger those individuals that disrespected your boundary or took opportunity to play on your field, because sometimes, and I always say, those people that need the most healing, they are very empathic people that have very hard times of communicating. And you allowed maybe for this field in the biggest hope that somebody is going to respect that. But somebody is not going to respect that just because you open this field to them. They will respect you when you give them guidance. So when you think of boundaries, don't think about boundaries as limiting, that's limitation. I think of a boundaries like rules, like rules. Like when you go to work, you have rules of work. When you go to school, you have rules. Every family has some rules. You should have rules for the way you want to be treated. And those rules are connected to your values. Those rules are also connected to actually your standards. This is very powerful. It's powerful because you are actually teaching through your boundaries about who you are. When you open this field to everyone and say, okay, show me, how you respect me, you're not showing them anything. You have responsibility inside of yourself to actually show and guide people. It's almost like a plane. If you think of airport, like this is really good, just came to me right now. If you think of an airport and the plane would fly and there will be no signs, like those red lamps, what would happen? It would be a mess on this airport. So by you thinking that you're doing a good thing by giving open field to everyone, you're creating a mess. Your responsibility is to set up paths. It's to show actually like the same way as on an airport with lights. This is this destination. This is this destination, etc., etc. And in that way, there is clarity. You are responsible for the clarity that happens in your life. No one else is going to say, oh, excuse me, would you want me to create a boundary for you? No, no, no. No one is going to do it. You have to do it yourself. And so this is a very, very powerful topic for me. Boundaries, very powerful topic. I'm sorry, I'm like playing here a little bit with my phone because something happened. It's like going to the back. Okay. Boundaries is very much related to the communication skills. So, what is your communication skill? Are you holding inside of yourself, information, or are you speaking up what you feel? And I don't say not to, there is a difference between communicating from your heart and communicating whatever your tongue is going to bring. I am a big fan actually of like reflecting. I'm a big fan of observation and reflection before I speak. Yeah, yeah, Brian, thank you so much. Yeah, so I am a very big fan of allowing yourself to think and feel before you say something. But when you say something, don't say yes when you mean no, because in that way you are not only confusing another person, another person, but are you confusing yourself, because you then become wishy-washy, like a flag, like who knows what's going to be the next day, what's going to happen. No, communication is really sensing yourself. And so the more actually you take away the things that are hey, the things that are making you not you, the more you are starting to feel your own core. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Like, I want you to go with your own core. That's why it's important not to look for outside for validation. Create your own inner voice, your own inner validation. And then communication comes from inside. It doesn't come like, oh yeah, today I'm going to do it like this, tomorrow I'm going to do it like this. No. Like, when you know inside of your core how it is so stable. You become a stable. And you know why I say that? Long time ago, and I actually write this in my book. I write in my book a lot of my personal experiences. I used to be a flag like this. I used to be a people pleaser because I did not believe about like anything about myself. I didn't value myself enough to know who I am. And at some point when I started to think, who am I truly? I really had hard times because I could be this for this person, I could be this for this person, and I could be this for this person. But when I sat with myself, I thought that I am all of those people. And that's true. You are all of those people. But when you are so influenced by everyone else, influenced, then you are forgetting about, like your own inner essence. And so, like, when I started to work through like self-discovery process, then I started to be noticing, wow, I really am so easily moved into like many direction. Hi, Ruda. So this is very important. And so then you learn to communicate from your heart, like communicate. It's so powerful. All right. If you have any questions, please connect. Tell me you're here. Tell me you like whatever we speak about today. All right. So then the next way, and so all of those ways, they are all going to show up for you. So don't focus on one thing, but focus not on everything, but one thing, and then other things are going to definitely show up in your life. All right. So emotions. How important are emotions? Hey, you're beautiful. Pięknie, kochana. Okay, we have to also work with emotions. So like there's a scale of emotions. And so we have our norm. We all have like our norm of behaviors. And so let's say normally I feel very light and easy. So when I enter, a moment when it's become shaky, I feel like, oh my gosh, something is happening. But like go back to my norm. My norm is light and easy, but not all of us have norm light and easy. Some of us have struggle. Some of us, the norm is, I don't want to face another day. I have hard times. I don't like to go to work. I feel judged. I don't like, my partnership. Whatever is in your life, I want you to start looking for emotions that are connected to the way you are experiencing your life. What are the emotions that are showing up every day? Is this guilt? Is this sadness? Is this frustration? Or maybe anger? Or maybe some type of insecurity? What is it in your life that pulls you down? Because, like here is the norm, right? The norm is like your courage. Your norm is the courage. Are you lower than the courage or above it? And we'll talk about the emotions that are above the courage. They are connected to actually acceptance of everything that happened in the past, releasing all of the emotions that are pulling you down, and then actually rising above this norm, which is becoming your new norm. And the new norm, it depends actually on the emotions that are becoming more and more present in your life experience. So what is above the courage? So like first of all, like your courage, if you think about this, what is courage? Courage is a moment that actually you can say, I'm done. I can't live like this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I am willing to take next steps to improve my life, to transform my life. So in self-worth journey, it would be the moment that you say, you know what? I need to put everything aside and start developing who I am, start looking inside of myself for who I am. Okay. And so then what is when we have this courage, at the courage moment, we have to look at self-identity, right? That was number 3. Your self-identity is going to help you to get more courage to go higher on that level. And so when you have courage to let go of the past, not holding to the old stories, no one told you that you have to live the same over and over and over again. No one said to you that. You keep choosing this because it feels like you have no options. Actually, you have option. Your option is coming to like this. Our human nature is to have free choice. And your free choice actually is to choose different story. Different story is also different perception of self, which is stronger self-identity that is related to your essence. And so when you are growing into courage and say, I'm done with this old story. I want to me to be center of my life. And being center of your life is not related to ego. It's connected to the reason why you are here on the earth. Because here on the earth, if you think about this like in a very reflective way, you're here to experience life. You're here to learn and move on, learn and move on, learn and experience and move on. And so you cannot live in the old story. If you're reliving and reliving and reliving old story, you're stuck. Like the present moment is here, here, and now here, and now here. And every moment you are stepping into the present moment, actually you have opportunities to change everything in your life. And it only depends on you. What are you going to focus on? And that's why I give you, like, I don't know, sometimes we look for permission. No one can give you permission to this. You have to give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission actually to step up, to step actually into the present moment with the opportunities that the present moment brings. Okay, so vibracje, vibrations, uh, vibrations, emotions, energy, emotions. So our emotions carry vibration. Our thoughts carry vibration. Our words that we speak carry vibration. And so here comes again the belief system. If I believe that I am not worthy, and it shows up in my thoughts and my emotions every day, that it pulls me down. My life experience can only be on that norm of low norm. But when I choose differently and I start changing my self identity to who I truly am in the essence, and again, what is the essence? The true self worth is God given. It is so divine. We all have the same right. So by you being stuck here on the very bottom, knowing that you can be in the highest positions anywhere in your happiness, the here, like, is awakening, enlightenment, is the highest what you can experience, and you're choosing to relive all the time sadness, victim, all of the things that are making you feel not happy. And you have this opportunity all the time here. It's all the time here. Why do you choose that? Are you ready to let go of this? So this exactly what I'm saying. Energy, working on energy, releasing all of the energy blocks, letting go of the past, letting go. So it's almost like you have many coats on, and then one by one you're taking each coat, and you become lighter and lighter and lighter. And at some point you don't even know when your life experience expands, because you are in such a nice and easy state. And so very often I see with my clients that they want to project and make somebody else be responsible. The fact is, the things that happened in the past, we can't change. Putting blame on the other people cannot make you feel better. It's just like replacing taking responsibility for what happened. But when you truly think as an awakened person, you can learn from that, you can forgive, and you can start living in a present moment and focus on rising your vibration to go into that which is unlimited. You know, that which is unlimited. This also is unlimited, but it's a different vibration. Do you want to choose that? Or do you want to choose openness, ease, smooth, freedom, all of those things that come with the awakening and enlightenment? This. All right. Give me a thumbs up. Whoever is still watching me, give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. You know, I really like when you are with me and you listen to me. All right. So the next point is the last one. Hi, thank you. Last point. So when we are here already having this experience, the experience of awakened soul, we are entering what I call the sacred life. Oh my gosh, I could cry. I could cry. But just taking it all in, thank you. My book explains this fully, but when you enter sacred life, you, oh my gosh, you're entering place that, you know, like you inside fully are connected to yourself. I think it's just the most beautiful experience when you can live your life through gratitude. I think I need a moment for myself. But this is the place when you start noticing how we all live in a symbiosis, how we are all interconnected, how we all consciously or unconsciously serve each other in life. So when you are already in that state, you can start understanding that the person that was rude to you was not rude to make you feel little, but was there for you to awaken and see that inside of you there was a twist and knot. And this person came to you to say, excuse me, work on this. I'm coming here with the message. So instead of thinking that outside is here to punish us, to make us feel little, to make us feel insecure, we can start noticing that all of those people, all of those situations, they are messengers. They are messengers of the information. What do we still have to work inside of us? And when we face it, and let's say somebody makes you feel, for example, angry, you can take the anger and say thank you to this person that brought this anger to you, and say, wow, what inside of me feels angry? What is the reason for that? What is behind all this? And going to the source is going to help you to release it. Maybe there's still some kind of a pattern. Like I'm very lately into like ancestral stuff, and so like I see how the ancestral dynamic plays huge role actually in our experience of life. And so maybe there's still something there, maybe there's some kind of unconscious debt that we are actually paying to somebody from our past. Okay, so when we are in our sacred life, there is a gratitude, there's this openness, there is this calmness and peacefulness inside. You know, like I always think when I ask people, what is happiness to you? What does the happiness mean to you? And maybe for some people, it's like, oh, I'm happy when I have this. When, like, many people will go into like maybe material things, but many people would say, I feel happy when I am in love, or I'm happy when I feel this or that. Like how wonderful it is to have peaceful mind. Like how wonderful is to have the quietness and calmness that is present every day, that there are no thoughts that are interrupting, that there's no emotions that are interrupting our daily existence, because we work through them over and over and over again, and they are no longer there to hunt us down. So this calmness of the quiet mind, how wonderful is this? And so like I always invite work all of those areas, because what happens when the empath actually uh, hi when the empath becomes healed, it becomes a powerhouse. The confidence goes high, the communication is high, resilience is high, like all of those things are just opening you up for life experience. So you're stepping into the sacredness of life as a healed person. And truly healed person has no ego. Like every time, like some people like concepts, and so some people, when they listen to some concept in a theory, they understand the concept. But when you embody, when you actually feel, and when you use, and when you truly dedicate yourself into releasing all of those things, paying attention to those things, and when you start noticing seriously changes in your life, your experiences in your life, the friendships in your life, you like, I don't know the feeling that I could explain. You truly become this person. So it's not like I am just going to be that person and I'm just going to pretend, because we can all pretend and we can all like do all of those things. But it's not about this. It's not a magic one that is going to make us feel certain way. It's us deciding, I'm going to do my work. I'm going to truly dedicate to do my work. And when we do it and embody, feel it, you will feel the tension in your body. You release this tension in your body through body movement, through your voice, through dance, whatever comes to you. You feel how this energy starts pushing and pushing, and that's where I feel lighter after I release that energy. And so like how important is this embodiment? I'm a big fan. So the healed empath, as I call it, like we become, like our nervous system becomes very clear, it's reset. And so truly embracing your healing journey is connected to embracing it all. And so you can start, as I said, so many different points. You can start working here with ancestors, but still you'll need to work on your emotions. You'll still need to work on boundaries. You'll still need to work on so many different things, and they will show up. And again, those codes are not going to be taken off one by one in a one afternoon. This journey is called the journey of life for a reason, because we, one thing at a time, reveal something new to be revealed. And that's the beauty of this, that whatever needs to be released is going to come to you and present it present itself to you, and then you're going to take it and you'll be like, oh yeah, I can work on that. And then maybe a year after, the same almost situation is going to show up again, but it's no longer going to be the same situation, because our growth is not really like this. It's very spiral like. It's very spiral like. So just because you released something a year ago, maybe when it like resurfaces itself a year after, you have totally different perception of that situation. So it's not the same situation. It's totally different perception of the situation that actually can pull something different from you. So that's why it's so awesome to be present for the healing process. All right. So I want you to start becoming a very conscious creator of your life, instead a victim that is just taking the experiences of life and even more beating self up. All right. So again, a lot of the things that I spoke about today is in my book. It's called The Essential Thread. If you didn't have a chance yet to read it, I truly recommend it. So what I am going to do, actually, I want to create a book club, but it's not a book club for many books. I want to be able to read my book, and I want to create workshops actually around each chapter. And so if you have interest joining me for this type of a book club, you would need to buy this book. We are going to start actually in October, and we are going to week by week for 8 weeks meet, and we are going to discuss the book. If you have interest, let me know, and maybe send me even a private message, because that will be something that I feel would be very, very powerful, and like it will be a great tool to have. All right. So I think that's all for today. I'm so happy for everyone that's joined me. And if you have any questions, please do not feel that you have no contact with me. Hey, Gabi. Hey, Kavcha. So send me some messages, text me, call me. I'm here. And so, sending you hugs, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, guys.